Hey everyone, Danielle here. I'm doing a solo playthrough of Propolis. I backed this game on Kickstarter, so I'm very happy that I was able to finally play. So this will be my second playthrough. Um, and I thought that this time I would also go through the setup because in the other video, I did not go through setup, and also I forgot to do a whole phase in the game where I checked for majority. So let's kind of do this together. And this way, maybe if you also have the game in your hands, you can set up the game as we speak. So you're just going to grab a board and you're going to grab a color of each of these markers, and you're going to place it on the one track of your board. So just match those up and then put the rest away that you won't need. For the board I am using is this teal looking color. So I will be grabbing all of those colored beeples or bee meeples. So we will be grabbing 12. And then you'll be setting aside 3 from your personal supply. So I'll be grabbing 3 and setting it aside. And the rest will be to the side of my board. And then I'll be grabbing this kind of purple color. There should be 12 as well. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this will be the AIs. So I'm just going to put their stuff right here. And then the rest of these, we won't need. All right. So we'll put these away and then I will grab the cards. And again, you can set up with me if you like. All right. So we've got all of those done. Let's take out the solo card. I am going to do the easiest mode, which means we'll be using all of them. So we'll give that a little shuffle and put them aside as well. Next, we'll grab the cards. So we have a couple of things to point out if you're not familiar. So let me just break them out first before I speak to them. Okay. So we have these starting resource cards. I'll go ahead and shuffle, and then I will give myself one. All right. So we'll go ahead and do this. And this says +2 starting resources. So we're just going to do that. So +2, 1, 2. All right, so that is our resource. And then we'll flip it around and we are going to shuffle and place 5 at the top of our player area. Missing a card here. Set that aside. We just confirm here. So yeah, we're gonna take these Queen's Palace cards and put out 5. All right. And then the rest of these cards will not be used. After that, we're going to give these cards a shuffle. These are going to be the landscapes slash structure cards. So give that a shuffle. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to deal out 4 rows of landscape cards, each in the space below the structure market based on the number of players. So we're going to do 8 cards total. So that's going to be a row of 4 cards and then another row of 4 cards, just like that. And then for the structure market, we're going to do something similar, and that will be 5 cards across though. And that will be this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think we could probably squeeze that over to the left. Okay. And then we'll do a second row. And then we're just about ready. All right. So we'll place this deck here. We will eventually need to replace cards in the landmark area and also the structure market. And then aside from all of that, we are set. So each player flips their card and places They're starting structure into the hive or tableau adjacent to the playboard. Oh, okay. So it's actually here. So our starting structure actually gives us this a bonus resource when we play. So our resources are all here, and we will get to always have this permanent +1 on this resource. So even though this is on track 0, essentially this would give us 1 towards a cost that we might want to use towards a structure card. So a structure card has some costs on the bottom. So it says you can spend a meeple, 3 of these, 2 of these, or 3 of these to gain this card into your hive or tableau. And then this card will be worth 4 points at the end of the game. There are going to be cards like this that actually give you 1 point per something. So 1 point per pair of, I think, lavender. This will cost 2 meeples and 5 of those blue resources. So that will be interesting. And there's going to be some icons I may have to look up, because I actually don't know what the 3 icons mean. This icon, I'm not familiar with that. I didn't see that in my first game. I'm not sure if it's going to show up. Oh, okay. Structure cards. So for number 2, immediately after constructing, gain any 3 non-wild resources. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. That's a card that I might want. All right, I think we're gonna get started. So for the solo mode, we're just gonna be flipping cards over so that we do either the top action or the bottom if we can't do the top action. So that should be pretty straightforward. And then they don't actually score, they're just gonna kind of get in our way. All right, so let's start. We have a bunch of meeples to place. I'm gonna deploy worker meeples because that's, I think, a logical first action. Choose 1 landscape card and place worker meeples onto as many action spaces on that card as desired to gain the rewards. So if I were to choose this one, I would get a lot of the yellow, which could be useful in getting this. So I think I'll go ahead and do that. So I'll go and place my beeples standing up, which is important in this game, that it stands up, and gain 2 yellows. And then I'll place a beeple here to gain this orange. And that is my deploy worker beeples action. Let's see what the solo mode does. All right. So this one says, put the bee, or fortify basically with a bee that is already out, but they don't have any. So they're just going to go here and go into the second row, and they're going to place it on the leftmost card of the landscape market in the second row. So the solo mode is pretty clear in what exactly you need to do. So when it shows a number, you deploy worker beeples onto the first open card in a matching row, and you deploy the maximum number of worker beeples. So it's going to be this, that they're going to get a ton of these. And for them, you also make sure that they're standing up as well. Okay. So I think next, because I am eyeing this card right here, the Aster Tower, I need to increase these bottom 2 rows, definitely increasing the bottom one. So to do that, I want to focus on getting cards that have both of these. And also something to keep in mind for each turn, you check to see if any of the landscape card rows has no remaining completely empty landscape cards. So if all 4 cards in any row have at least 1 worker beeple, you have to check for majority and resolve if there is a majority. Otherwise, your turn ends and it passes to the next player. So when you're checking for majority, that's kind of one of the most important parts of the game that I missed on the first play. It says, if there are no remaining completely empty landscape cards in any of the rows of landscape cards, count the number of worker beeples that each player has placed in the row. Each worker beeple counts as 1 towards the total. However, each fortified worker beeple counts 2 towards the total. The player with the highest wins the majority for this row. If there is a winner, the winning player immediately takes back all of their worker beeples from the landscape cards in that row and adds them to their personal supply adjacent to the player board. So that's helpful because you normally would have to waste a turn to return your meeples. if you wanted to take them back for any reason. All right. And then you would just remove the first card from the left and replace. So yeah, I think that happens basically if any of the landscape rows have remaining completely empty landscape cards. Okay, so right now that is not the case because we have empty cards on the bottom row. So I think here we are going to focus on putting a meeple here, deploying again to gain 2 of these. They'll take their turn +2. So they're going to get a card from their structure row of row 2, the leftmost card. So they're taking this one into their hand and then into their tableau, and then we're flipping that over. I always find that interesting because I feel like they're always just going to take the newest card that comes out, which I don't know if that's really the idea, but it says construct the leftmost structure card from the structure card market from the indicated row. And then it says the market, when any structure card is constructed from a row, all of the cards in that row slide from left to right to fill the gap. Which I don't know if I'm misreading that because they're taking the leftmost card. And you are sliding from left to right to fill the gap. And the new card from the top of the deck is added to the leftmost space. So, I mean, that's even when that's my turn too. So maybe that's why. Not sure. All right. So we need to get that. Yeah. So what I'm going to do next is fortify. So I will tip over this yellow and this orange. And then we should be able to get this on the next turn. All right, so they're going to place their bees on the first card with this icon, which is the orange, which is going to be here. So they're going to look left to right, top to bottom. They'll place their worker bees as well. No majority to check for right now. And then, yes, I'm going to grab this card, spending 5, 4 for my resource, 1 for my starting structure. And then 3 here and 1 here. So now I've got my first structure card. And this will now give me 2 permanent resources here, which is great. No points, but it gives me a good start in terms of resources. So essentially I have 5 of those resources. So move that over and refill. So talking about these Queen's Palace cards, these have their own requirements, and this is related to the cards that you end up building in your hive or your tableau. And so I will need cards that give me at least 3 and at least 2 of these, and spending 3 of our peoples to obtain this card. That will give me the ability to have this X go towards a lot of my scoring scoring criteria at the end of the game. All right, so they'll take their turn. And they're placing it on row 2. So they will place the leftmost, which is here and here. And for us, I think we're gonna, I think we could continue fortifying. And go ahead and fortify here. 1, 2. You can only go up to 2, so I'll do that. I mean, fortify with up to 2 peoples. That gives me 2 of this resource. They're going to take their turn. They will fortify in row 1, doing that. And then, let's see. I mean, I guess I could do... No, nothing yet. I was going to see if I could do something here, but I definitely need more blue, which there's no blue out right now. This would be great to get. So maybe if I did deploy, I'll go ahead and deploy here. Yeah, deploy here. in here, and that icon here says that I can swap resources that I have. So I'll go down 1 here. Actually, do I even need to? I think I already have what I need. Yeah, no, I'll go down here and go up 1. Go down 1 here. Go up 1. And then I think I will place another people as well to gain that yellow. Okay, so now we have a row that has every card have at least 1 people. So that means we have to check for majority. So in this case, checking for majority, there's a couple of steps. We count the points. So a worker people counts 1. Of a fortified worker people counts as 2. So the AI has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have majority. So I get to get all of these back into my worker personal supply. And then because so if the player is not the active player, they immediately gain one wild resource by moving the wild resource marker up 1. But I am the active player, so that's fine. So now that the player with the majority of the workers' meeples have been removed from the row, remove the rightmost completely empty landscape card from the row. So that's this one. So this is going to be removed and discarded. And then slide all landscape cards over so that the leftmost card in the slot in the row is emptied. So leftmost is emptied. And then take the landscape card from the top of the structure landscape card deck and place it onto this slot. Okay. So that was our first time doing that. So now it's their turn. They're going to place their meeples here on row 1. And back to us, I'm going to grab this card, spending 2 blues, a pink, and a purple. And now we'll get 2 of our meeples into our personal supply. That's awesome. Okay. And it's worth 2 points at the end of the game. Slide everything over. Refill. It's their turn. So they're going to try to place it on a blue, but they don't have one. So they're going to go in row 1 and fortify. All right. Next, let me see if there's anything I can actually get. Does not look like it. Would be good to get some blues. I think what I am going to do is put 2 of my peoples here, decrease this to gain a blue, and decrease this to gain a blue. And then also I'll place this here to gain a yellow. All right. So they're going to place their beeples onto a card in row 1. So they only have 2, so they're just placing it on 2. And now we check for majority. And they clearly have majority of that, so they're going to return all of their beeples. The rightmost card is removed. Everything slides down. And this card goes here. All right. So I had a plan. I was trying to get something with the yellow and the blue. I don't think I quite have it yet. So if I did 3, then 2, and then 1 more for the blue, it's not gonna really be, I just need more resources so that I can start trading more as well. So it's just it's difficult because there's a lot of blue going on this side and not enough blue going on this side. So let's try to fix that. We're gonna go ahead and do this. Gaining a beeple, and then we're going to gain an orange. And now we check for majority. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in case of a tie, they do have language for that here. The row is not resolved until a future turn when the player fortifies worker peoples and breaks the tie. Okay. So now it is their turn. They're going to gain a card from the first row. Now back to us. And I think we are going to fortify for sure. But I'm thinking maybe we can... no, we can't. So yeah, we should fortify. These are all yellows, right? Well, we have to fortify our own actually. So I'll go ahead and fortify one for yellow, and then one of these, and then I can swap. So I'll decrease a yellow for a purple. Actually, for a blue. Silly me. I need more blues, right? Okay. And so now we resolve the majorities, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I will grab all of my peoples, remove that card. It'll shift everything over. And now we finally have a blue, and I see more blue coming. So we'll see how that works out. Okay. All right, so they're going to place their people on the second row. Of course, they're taking this one. And then I'm going to take this one, spending a people. And then we have 1, 2, 3. 2 oranges are covered. And then we have 3 blues that we have to spend. All right, so we have our second D. I don't know if you notice the types here. There's like a column for C, D, A so far here. We'll shift these over and refill. Okay, so they're going to place it on the first purple one. And there is none, so they're just going to take it from the first row. All right. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 of these orange. So that's interesting. If I had 8, I could take this card. So maybe I could focus on doing that. So let's do that. We're gonna go here and grab an orange, and then here to get a people. And now we count for majority. They obviously have it, so they're going to go ahead and take their peoples back, discard the rightmost, and put this down. And then because it wasn't their turn, they would get a wild resource, but the solo mode does not require them to get any resources. Okay. So now it is their turn. They're going to place their peoples here, matching that icon. All right. So now that the blues have opened up, definitely going to try to get that. 1, 2. They're just about almost done getting through their deck. Once they go through their deck twice, that will force an endgame unless one of us gets 10 cards. So they're going to place their peoples on one of the cards with yellow. Fill it up. And then we will grab this card. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly 8 to fulfill this. And we have to spend a people. We'll have 4 points when we get this resolved at the end of the game. Okay. They place it on a blue. And then you know, this is pretty good to have. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put my beeples here. I do have enough. So I'll get 4. And then at least I could trade them. I have to make sure I don't put them flat by accident. Okay. And now we'll do the majority. I have majority for sure. So we'll do that. They're going to place on a yellow. resolving the majority at the top. They definitely have it. So they'll grab all of theirs back. And then I'm going to place my peoples. Gain 2 blues. They're going to take their last card and put them on the first orange card they can. All right. And then it's our turn. I am going to, yeah, I'll put these to fortify for 6 blues. And then now they've gone through the deck once. So now we have to shuffle. And keep an eye on that. They're placing it on one of the purple ones, which don't exist right now. Let's just grab one of these. And then, so I have 4, 5, and then 4 of those. And plenty of blues. Yeah, so I'll spend, I'm gonna get this one, I think. 5. I'll have 1 left, and I'll spend 2 beeples to get this card, and it'll give me 3 of any resource immediately. So I will get 3 of these. Okay. See what they do. They're going to fortify in row 2. Ooh, I'll grab this card. So spend 4 minus 1 is 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 purples. Right. Now I permanently have 1 of those blues. So build from the second row of the structure market. I guess. Trying to think if I should wait and get more blue. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and put my beeples here, gain a blue, and then swap a yellow for a blue. They're going to place on an orange. And then I'm going to grab this one. This requires me to spend 1 of my beeples. 3, well, I have 1 here, so spending 2, and then spending 1 of my lavenders. So now I have 1 of these automatically. They're going to place on the leftmost second. And now we count for majority because it's all full on the second row. So if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. So we have to wait till that tie changes. So we have 2 meeples and now personal supply. I think I will go ahead and put this face down to fortify. Increase this by 1, and we'll swap. I'll swap down for 1, and then increase this purple by 1. So now the tie is no longer. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they have 6. So I'll grab my beeples. The leftmost empty card will be removed. I mean, the rightmost is removed, and then you're just shifting everything over. All right, so they're placing it on row 2. They only have 2 beeples left. No majority to look for right now. I will place mine here. Gain a beeple, and then gain an increase here. Check for majority. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're tied right now. All right, they don't have any beeples. So when that happens, I believe they have to remove and rest, essentially. Let's double check that in the rules. Um, I believe it did mention. Yeah, because they can't do anything, they had to retreat all their peoples. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to think I'll take. I think I could just take this one. And then I also have another yellow, which is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I get one more structure card, the game will end. So if each player, either player has 10. Yeah, so me or them. Okay. They're gonna place 1, 2, 3. And then I think I'm gonna fortify. Grab that. Take one. And I'm gonna do this and this. Actually, I'm not gonna waste my peoples on that. I'm just gonna do that, and the majority will be good. Actually, yeah, I will. I will. I'm gonna decrease that, and then I'll spend another one. Decrease that. Now we look at majority. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, yeah, I will grab all of my peoples back. I really like how smooth the solo mode is. Then they'll take their turn. And I really want more of the lavenders, but unfortunately there's none out. And I don't know if it's just worth it just to get, because the thing is, one of my only scoring is that I have this. One per every pair of lavender resources. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of drag this out and get 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll just like use one of these icons later, hopefully. All right, they're gonna fortify row 1. And then, yeah, I'm going to place 2 meeples here and here. And I will decrease this to gain 1, decrease the orange to gain 1. We're going to place meeples on the first one. And then we will look at the numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if they do have majority, they'll get theirs back. And then we can't quite get that. Can we do any queens? Let's see. So we have 2 cards that do that. The ones with the highest score. Oh no, I won't be able to do that. One of each. I don't have a purple one. So I think I have this. So I think I'll do this. I'll grab the structure card. 1, 2, 3 is spent from personal supply. I do have the 2 of these, 1 of these, and then 1 of these. Perfect. So I will grab that. And that is my 10th, and they'll take 1 more turn, which I don't think it really matters. But yeah, they're just going to be placing that. Okay, so now we score. I love how quick this game plays. So says score as you would. Okay, let's go to scoring. Each player scores points based on the structure cards in their tableau. Each structure card scores independently based on either a fixed number of points printed on the card or for set of resources or guild symbols. Okay. So I'm trying to see about the X symbols. They do explain how that comes into play when you get the queen. Somewhere they explain it. I think on page 15, okay. So page 15. Oh, I thought I was going to explain. But basically, I do think this counts as anything, any letter that we need. So that's cool because as I score, there's letters involved here. So I'm going to just get a score sheet. And then we'll just score from left to right. So just scoring points, we have 3. And then 1 for every 2 lavender. I have 2, so 1 point. Then I have 1, 2, so that's 3, plus 4, plus 2. And then we get 2 for every pair of ADs. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 6. So that's 6 points just for these. So let's do that. 19. So my score is 19. And then as far as unused resources, you divide the number by 5. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's just gonna be 1 point. So essentially we have 20 points. Now we look at the range, score range, which there is none, but I like to look at the achievements to take a look at the high score that they look for. And 15 is the lowest. So I'm at 20, which is basically row 3. Last game I got only 14 points, so this is definitely an improvement. But there you have it. That was my solo playthrough of Propolis. I hope you enjoyed it. If I made any mistakes, definitely let me know. But this is just such a lovely, I think is a worker placement type game, in my opinion, and Tableau as well, Tableau building. But yeah, let me know what games you've been playing solo. Love to hear about new games that maybe I haven't heard of that I could check out. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.